Look, you're no stranger to the Big 12 and media days and things like this. What's this like? This is sort of the unofficial start to the season.
Yeah, no, this is a great time. A lot of connecting. This year, it's even more hectic because you add, NBC, the partners with the Big 12. You add Fox. I mean, there's so many more rooms in which you have to go into as players and coaches. So there's a lot more media responsibilities that you have. So it's hectic. That's the way I would describe it. It's hectic. Even when I was, coming to media days as a player, it was hectic. But now it's like that times 10. So I feel like it's a lot more on especially the SIDs, because they have to organize everything. But it's a good time. And you're right. Now it feels like basketball season is officially here.
You mentioned the different media partners, and every year it just gets bigger and bigger and more options for people to tune in to be able to watch this conference. What do you make of just how big this conference is getting? And it's not just from that standpoint, but obviously over the last couple of years, adding new teams. The Big 12 in a very short period of time has changed quite a bit.
Yeah, well, I think that's a testament to the product they put on the floor. And when you look at the coaches, I mean, you have so many great coaches. You have so many great players. I mean, this year, when you look at this freshman class, I was talking to somebody earlier, there's potentially 6 freshmen, not players, but 6 freshmen that could all be lottery picks going into next year's draft. You guys got a great one, maybe the number 1, number 2 pick in the draft. But nonetheless, I think that is a true testament to the players and the product that the Big 12 puts out year in, year out. And it's one of the best conferences in college basketball, and it's been evident.
You mentioned the freshmen in this class. We'll get to AJ and BYU in a second. Darren Peterson was named the preseason freshman of the year. Do you think they got it right?
Oh, man, that's a tough one. I feel like it's a toss-up. I've been able to watch AJ more than I've been able to see Darren Peterson. I've been able to see him a few times. But I'll tell you what, Darren Peterson has a lot of hype behind his name. I mean, what Bill Self came out and said, what other people in the media have come out and said, I'm looking forward to watching it. And I think that he will have more responsibilities on him than AJ will at BYU, because AJ has Rob Wright. He has Richie Saunders. He has guys who have been there and done it at a high level. So I do think more responsibilities will rely on Darren Peterson. So I think that when it boils down to it, we could see Darren Peterson win Big 12 freshman and newcomer of the year, just strictly due to that. The fact that there's more pressure on him to perform. And if he doesn't perform, then they will lose. Right? If AJ doesn't perform, you still have Richie Saunders or Rob Wright that can go get you 20, 25 a night. So I think that maybe, but I want to see it, all right? Because I've seen AJ what he did against Nebraska. I was impressed. So I got to see how good this guy really is.
Yeah, 30 points in the exhibition game against Nebraska was pretty impressive to come right out of the gate with that type of performance. What do you expect from AJ in his freshman season?
Well, he's a pro. I mean, and you can tell. Because one way that you can tell a guy is a pro is how effortless and how easy they make it look. If you watch his game against Nebraska, all 30 points were easy. He didn't have to struggle or exert real effort. I mean, he probably did, but it didn't look like it from our eye. So he looked like it just came natural and just came easy, whether there was the pace of play, the athleticism we saw at the rim, the ability to be able to just catch it, be ready, and shoot it and load up. I was impressed because it was an efficient 30, right? One of his reps is he's a gunner. He takes bad shots. He's very inefficient. Well, first game, he proved to us that he was a guy that could score with efficiency, which once again shows that he is a pro. So I'm looking forward to watching him. I expect him to put up big numbers and be one of the best players in the country, not just the Big 12, but in the country.
You mentioned the players around him, and having a guy like Richie Saunders back is huge. And, a lot of people are talking about Richie as one of those guys that can really, even as good as he was last year, still have another level to elevate to. But you talked about transferring in Rob Wright. And Kennard Davis, I think, is someone that's going to play a big role on this team as well. When you look at what the team did last year, going to the Sweet 16, and looking what expectations are this year, what do you think is possible for BYU this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of differences between the two. I would say that this year there's a lot more talent on the floor. I mean, when you look at it, Richie Saunders at any moment last year was arguably your number 1 option. This year, he could really drop to number 3 or 4. And I think Richie Saunders is a guy who will play in the NBA because I think he brings things to the table in which NBA teams look for. So I think he's going to play in the NBA. He'll get drafted next year. Mark my words. I truly believe that. So at any moment, he can become your third or fourth option. Scoring the ball is a lot easier now for BYU. I think last year you had to rely on your shooting. I think they did a great job of being able to create offense for shooters. But Yegor, they had to rely so heavily on Yegor coming off the pick and roll and being able to create for everybody else. This year, you have dudes where you can get the ball to them and say, hey, go give me a bucket. Like, just go give me a bucket. If all else fails, go give me 4 in a row. I need a bucket, right? We're going on a drought. The other team's on a run. Let's end the run. Rob, go get me one. AJ, go get me one. Richie, go get me one, right? And now Richie can just do what he would probably do in the NBA is just be that role player. Be a high-level role player, glue guy that can shoot the ball, that can play defense, that'll run, be able to slash and get to the rim because he's playing with dudes who can actually create and who he will thrive off of. So I think that this year's team could honestly make a push for the Final Four. I mean, I think when you look at the amount of scores and talent on this team, I think they can compete with almost anybody in the country.
You know, with Kevin Young coming in now being his second year, and you talk to all the players that are coming in, and one of the reasons that they want to play for him is because of his NBA background. You're starting to see that in other situations across the country pop up where, you know, programs are like, we need to tap into this. How big is that for these players to be able to play for coaches that know how to get them to the next level?
I think it's massive because, number one, you talk about connections. I think every player wants to play for guys who have connections, and they have connections to the NBA. But number two, I think just from a basketball strategy standpoint, it doesn't compare. If you look at the way that Kevin Young ran his program last year, I mean, the wings would get to the arena at a certain time. The guards get to the arena at a certain time. He just continuously, in every facet, runs his program like an NBA team. Even the way that they play, the product that you see on the floor, offensive schemes, the way that they try to, pick on mismatches, the way that he randomly throws a zone in there, right? I think that a lot of things that he does is very NBA-like and NBA-esque. So what better way to prepare for the NBA than go play for a guy who's been there and who's done it at such a high level, being able to coach so many great players. So I think when you look at him, I said this on air last year, he is one of the best basketball minds in our conference. Like, I will sit down before we do games or at shoot-arounds. I will talk to him, nothing about the game, and just about basketball nerd strategy because I love it that much, and I respect his mind so vastly. And I think that you're seeing that, and I think that with AJ coming, with Rob coming, I think that just shows that's a testament of the guys in which respect him and the guys who will, forecast to, maybe one day continue to come to BYU.
Nobody was surprised when the preseason poll came out and Houston was picked to win the conference. How big of a gap do you think there is from Houston to everybody else? And looking at the Big 12 preseason, BYU picked second, Texas Tech third. What's the gap after Houston, do you think?
I don't think there's much of a gap. And the reason why I say that is because Houston has a few questions that you have to answer. They went to the national championship game, and their mentality this year is that they understand what it takes to get there. They just have to get over that hump, right? But for me, my question is, you lose LJ Cryer, you lose Jawan Roberts. We know defensively they're going to be special. We know what they're going to bring to the table. Now, offensively, at times they struggled, right? They were stopping people, but they struggled to get buckets. And the two people that bailed them out of that was LJ Cryer and Jawan Roberts. LJ Cryer, go get it, go give me a bucket. One-on-one, go shoot this thing, go take a step-back jumper, go give me a bucket. Jawan Roberts, let's throw it to you in the mid-post, go to work. Maybe a team will force a double because you're hard to stop one-on-one so he can kick out of that. So that was their bailout option. This year, who is your bailout option? When you're struggling to get a bucket, who will be that guy? Has Emmanuel Sharp taken that jump? Has Uzan taken that jump? We know Tugler will probably never be the level of offensive guy that Jawan Roberts was. He doesn't need to be. He'll still go play in the NBA because he's a madman on defense, right? So I think that there's not that much of a gap because Houston has to answer some questions. Where is your offense going to come from in moments when you cannot get a bucket?
Okay, so if someone's going to dethrone Houston, which team do you think it could be?
I think you have a myriad of teams. I mean, I think that you have Texas Tech. I think BYU is up there. I think Baylor, if they can figure out their point guard situation, I think they're up there. I think Kansas State is a team that people are sleeping on. PJ Haggerty, people do not get it twisted. PJ Haggerty is up there with the best of the best in this conference. He is that level of good. Last year, what he did in Memphis should not go unnoticed. He put the team on his back, and he averaged 20+. They have 2 guys who averaged 20+ at their previous schools. They have dudes this year, something that Jerome Tang really hasn't had in 2 or 3 years. They'll be competitive. Iowa State is going to be good. Taman Lipsey and the veteran leadership that he provides. I mean, there's about 4 or 5 teams that I think Kansas, if Darren Peterson is as good as expected, I think they're a team. There's about 5 teams who I think can really get in there with Houston and be able to make it competitive, especially if Houston doesn't answer those questions that I asked earlier.
All right, I don't know if you have your ESPN schedule yet. You coming out to Provo again? Are we going to see you again this year?
Listen, I surely hope so. Y'all are amazing, man. From the atmosphere to the way, the hospitality. I mean, y'all are absolutely incredible. I love my time at Provo. It was cold. It was cold, but it was beautiful. So I think the beautifulness, the beautiful sights and the mountains and the snow. I'm really
Cougar Tail.
The Cougar Tail was like, it was good, but it wasn't like elite. Maybe if it was warmed up. I need a microwave next time. If I could put it in a microwave, I think I would like it more. But it was good. I'm not really a huge, massive donut sweet guy. Like, I'm just like a plain like glazed dude. Just give me a glazed donut, I'm good. But nonetheless, it was still good. But everything was incredible. I loved Provo. That's my first time going. I hope to be back a lot, especially with the team you guys have.
Well, it should be a fun season. Hopefully we'll see you out in Provo. King, thanks for the time. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Anytime.